This is a $1 billion museum that both Chicago and San Francisco rejected. The crazy part is that both cities didn't have to pay a single penny for this iconic building. This is the Lucas Stadium of narrative art. After facing rejection by 2 cities, it has now found its home in Los Angeles. Imagine getting a building like this for free and still saying no to it. So why exactly did Chicago and San Francisco take such a step? And how did LA hit the ultimate jackpot? The Lucas Museum is the brainchild of George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars. This explains why the building looks like a spaceship that accidentally landed on Earth. Now, Lucas is one of the most celebrated filmmakers on the planet. His hit franchises like Star Wars and Indiana Jones have made him a multi-billionaire. In his 40-year career, he has collected 10,000 paintings and 30,000 props from his original movies. All these artifacts were stored in a guest house within the Skywalker Ranch. This ranch is a private property and a production center for Lucasfilms. So as expected, this place is completely off-limit for the public, except for those invited by Lucas himself.
And actually invited me to the ranch.
He's got this huge ranch, I guess.
It's the bomb. It's the bomb.
Yeah.
You get out the freeway at Lucas Valley Road.
That's a sign that things are going well.
That's a sign, yeah, exactly.
In the year 2010, George Lucas had a change of heart and decided to not gatekeep his artifacts. He wanted to create a museum entirely dedicated to storytelling and his movie archives. To house his huge collection, he needed a place that was both big and accessible to the public. Now he could have gone for a conventional-looking museum, but that didn't suit a man like him. To realize his dream, Lucas collaborated with Ma Yansong from Mad Architects. They came up with a cloud-like design that offered a floor space of 300,000 square feet. The museum will have 5 floors, with 2 ground floor theaters and 3 gallery spaces. Each theater has a capacity of 300 people and is equipped with advanced technology for film screenings and presentations. The galleries will be situated on 3 different floors with a total area of 100,000 square feet. These galleries will display a diverse collection of artwork including paintings, sculptures, murals, comic art, and photography. Original artifacts and research materials from Star Wars and Indiana Jones movies will also be exhibited in these galleries. These pieces have a combined worth of $400 million. The museum itself is situated on an 11-acre campus right next to the exposition park. This park has hosted the Olympics 2 times and is about to host it again in 2028. So preserving this space is of utmost importance. Around 200 trees are being planted to create a lush environment that supports local biodiversity and improves air quality. The trees aren't just limited to the ground, but will also be present on the museum's rooftop. Unlike other museums, the rooftop is accessible to the public too. If you look closely, there's a hole in the middle of the building. This hole penetrates through all the floors and provides a view of the sky from the plaza. There will also be an outdoor terrace that allows visitors to enjoy panoramic views of Los Angeles. Due to the building's sloped roof, these trees will also help absorb water in case of heavy rain. While most people think that the museum is inspired by spaceships in Star Wars, they are partially right. Designer Ma Yansong took notes from nature too. The area surrounding the exposition park is full of lush greenery and tall trees. Lucas Museum was designed to mimic a dense canopy of trees that provides shelter and shade to its visitors. A design like this looks stunning on paper, but is quite difficult to construct because of its curves. That's the reason most buildings around us are vertical. A famous exception is the new Apple headquarters built for $5 billion. It's a perfect circle and is constructed using curved glass. Much like the Lucas Museum, this building is also compared to a spaceship. Let us know in the comments which one has a better design in your opinion. If you're interested in more videos like these, kindly take a moment to subscribe to our channel. We bring the latest news in the construction industry with 2 fun videos each week. To bring the museum's design to reality, the exterior is made with 1,500 lightweight panels. Each panel is uniquely shaped since the design isn't uniform throughout the building. This is one of the reasons why the museum is costing $1.5 billion for its construction. So who exactly is funding this project? If you live in Los Angeles, you would be pleased to know that it's not being funded by your tax money. Instead, George Lucas and his wife, Melody Hobson, have committed $1 billion for its construction. This also includes a $400 million endowment for ongoing maintenance. The Lucas Museum will be a game changer for LA, establishing itself as a hub of creativity and filmmaking. Nearly 1 million people are expected to visit it annually, including Star Wars fans from around the globe. Imagine getting to see original artifacts like the Stormtrooper armor, lightsabers and costumes worn by Darth Vader, Princess Leia, and Rey. The museum is a fantastic addition to LA, with no additional cost to the city or its residents. So why did San Francisco and Chicago turn down such a golden offer? When the project was first proposed, San Francisco was pitched as the ideal home for Lucas's vision. The city allotted a piece of land on Crissy Field, with stunning views of the bay and the Golden Gate Bridge. Before European settlement, this area was a tidal marsh used by the indigenous tribes for fishing. When the U.S. Army took control, they turned the area into a military airbase and named it Crissy Field. Crissy Field served various military functions, including aerial photography and support for U.S. airmail. The facility was active until its closure in 1974. A few years later, the government transformed the area into a national park. Today, Crissy Field is a popular recreational area that attracts around 1.2 million visitors annually. It features picnic areas, walking trails, and educational facilities like the Crissy Field Center. The Lucas's museum was planned to be built near the sports basement store. However, there's a parking lot in this area. That had to be demolished first. This move was opposed by the Presidio Trust, the federal body overlooking this case. They also restricted the museum's height to 45 meters. According to the trust, Crissy Field should be protected as an open space recreational area. Even though this museum was going to be way cooler than any other on the planet, some people considered it too old-fashioned. After 4 years of negotiation, George Lucas had to give up on San Francisco, his hometown. The next option was Chicago. Known for its eccentric food and buildings, Chicago seemed perfect for a unique project like this. This city was also the hometown of Lucas's wife, Melody. The mayor had promised Lucas a piece of land on the shore of Lake Michigan. Much like San Francisco, the museum was proposed adjacent to a parking lot near Soldier Field. This area was chosen by Chicago's Site Selection Task Force and approved by the City Council and the Park District. The Chicago version of the museum would have been 4 times bigger than San Francisco. It was envisioned as a white tent-like structure resembling a mountain. The museum would have 2 peaks, with the taller one having a 360-degree viewing platform. Inside, there would be 3 floors with various exhibition spaces, galleries, and even a restaurant. There were also plans to design a bridge connecting the nearby Northerly Island. The museum was intended to replace the parking lot, which was part of a larger plan to enhance the cultural landscape of Chicago's museum campus. That's why 4.5 acres of land was dedicated to open spaces featuring dunes and trails. The proposed site would be leased to the museum for a period of 99 years for just $1 per year. This price was more symbolic than practical since Lucas was bearing the full cost. Once the design was made public, a series of criticisms were leveled against the museum. Due to its size, the Chicago Tribune called it a monument to its patron rather than a modest addition to a democratic public space. This argument was valid because Chicago doesn't allow the development of private properties on Lake Michigan. To appease the public, the museum's footprint was cut by 40%. Although the museum had governmental support, there was one particular group standing in its way. Friends of the Parks, a nonprofit organization, filed a federal suit to block its development. They argued that a 99-year lease effectively surrenders control of prime lakefront property to a private entity. On March 2015, the court ruled in favor of the Lucas Museum. Despite winning the case, George Lucas withdrew from Chicago. This was a museum dedicated to the public, and the ongoing legal battles had tarnished its reputation. As a result, the team collectively decided to shift their vision to Los Angeles and start afresh. The mayor of LA, Eric Garcetti, offered land in Exposition Park for the new museum. This site is also adjacent to the University of Southern California, a place where George Lucas studied cinematic arts. The City of Angels welcomed the new museum with an open heart and mind. In the early 2017, Lucas confirmed LA as the new home for the museum. Just a year afterward, the groundbreaking ceremony took place, marking the official start of construction. Initially expected to open in 2021, the construction got delayed due to the pandemic. Specific materials like geofoam and light fixtures were being shipped from Europe. The pandemic made it difficult to procure these materials, and the deadline was pushed to 2025. Despite the long interruption, construction is reportedly moving forward in all areas, with efforts being made to accelerate work where possible. The story of the Lucas Museum bears a similar tale to that of Star Wars. When Lucas first pitched the idea for the movie, he encountered substantial resistance from major studios. Many executives found the concept too unconventional and risky. The sci-fi genre wasn't explored enough, and films like Godfather, Jaws, and other thrillers dominated the market. After 2 years of persistent efforts, Lucas finally secured a deal with 20th Century Fox. The film turned out to be a success. Its use of special effects and space battles set a new standard for visual storytelling. The Lucas Museum of Narrative Arts has the exact same aim. Here, young people can be inspired by the likes of Judy Baca, Norman Rockwell, and Ralph McQuarrie. Famous artifacts from Indiana Jones will also grace the museum. The list includes the Lance of Longinus, the Dial of Destiny, and the Ark of the Covenant. You will also get to see storyboards and sketches related to both franchises. For example, you would be able to see what the early model of C-3PO looked like and how it evolved throughout the years. This museum is a gift by Lucas and his wife to a city that's home to Hollywood and the biggest film studios in the world. It's a step in preserving history and shaping the future through art and storytelling. If you liked our video, you might also like this video we made about the upcoming Grand Egyptian Museum. Built for a similar cost of $1 billion, the museum will showcase the never-before-seen artifacts from the rich Egyptian history. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we will catch up in the next video.